What's going on, y'all? Let's do a little Sunday gear rundown. Let's talk about the amp. Lately, I've been using this Third Power Dual Citizen, which is an amp that I got from a buddy of mine, Ethan Say, out of Houston, Texas. It's a great amp. It's like it's two channels, like an American side and a British side, and you can blend them. Right now I'm actually just using the American side on the blackface setting. It's a killer sounding amp. In fact, I'm gonna turn it on, get it ready. For pedal board, I'm using this board, which, dang, it's dirty. Holy cow. Originally, I had a bigger board that was built by Brian O'Million up in the Guitar Sanctuary. Basic gist of it is it's a pedal board comprised of the Mastermind PBC, which is like the main brains master controller of it all. Guitar comes into the patch bay right up here. Patch bay then routes to the switcher, which then goes to each individual pedal. So it's a 10 loop pedal switcher with 4 stereo loops. So you have pedal 1, which is the Jackson Audio Prism, which I basically use as kind of like a first pedal chain preamp, more like a EQ type thing, and a gain pedal based on the pedals I'm using. Second pedal is this Cascade Effects Hostortion, which is like a Ibanez Mostortion clone. Killer pedal, sounds really great on single note lines. Next one is the Analog Man King of Tone, which I have had for a few years, and I just love it. It sounds incredible. After that, we have the Klon KTR, which some people say it's drastically different than the Klon. I don't know, because I've never actually played the actual $2,000 or $3,000 Klon. After that, loop 5 is the Walrus Audio Julia, which I love. Sunday vibes for days. I pretty much exclusively keep it on the vibrato setting. It just sounds so good. Then I have the Jackson Audio Bloom, which is an incredible LA2A style compressor and a pedal. Why do I run it at the end of the chain? Well, I kind of just thought that it would be neat to treat it the same way that I would like an outboard piece of gear. So I kind of just tailor the gain and the input and the overall compression level to just kind of see how it works. Also, what I like too is that with the way it's set up now, I can turn the compressor off via my switcher because it's MIDI controlled. I can also turn the EQ on, which you can see I have a mid-range boost for that, or I can use the actual Bloom boost. So it's kind of like a almost like a multi-pedal in that regard, so that I can, and I keep it at the end so that I can compress it, or I can boost it, or I can shape the outgoing EQ. After that, the pedal board leaves via the snake, goes into the amp, and then back here it gets a little different. So the amp has the speaker output, which goes into a load box. The load box then feeds the Cab Zeus, which is my little cabinet simulator. So I'm running a silent setup. Then the Cab Zeus goes out back into the snake, which then goes into the pedal board again. That allows me to have all my stereo effects in post, as opposed to the pedals going into the front of the amp. I just like the way that stereo effects in post sound, so it's not too dissimilar from how you'd see a studio set up all their effects. And then in order, I have loop 7 is the Eventide H9, which is multi effect. Loop 8 is the Timeline. Loop 9 is the Big Sky, and then loop 10 is the Maris Mercury 7. So essentially I have 2 delays and 2 reverbs to give me all of the flexibility that I might need for the sounds that I want. And this is the keys setup. Running sounds from the iPad Pro, an app called Sunrising, onto the Poly D. Sounds thick.
So thick.
Anyway, that's the rig for now. If you like it, let me know what you think.